Hello, good afternoon, viewers. I'm your regular tutor, Damilare Akilude. Please do well to like our channel, Damilare Akilude, where you can get stuffs, classes in chemistry and biology. Okay, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell beside it to get regular notification. This afternoon we shall be studying translocation. Translocation is defined translocation is the process in which manufactured food substances are transported from where they are manufactured to tissues or to parts that needs it, to tissues where they are needed or stored. So you have to know where it is needed and you have to know where it is stored. Okay. Translocation normally begins from the leaves to other parts of the plants. Then it moves on to the phloem. Don't forget that the phloem is basically concerned with food, transport of food. Okay. Its translocation normally begins from the leaves to other parts of the plants. Phloem is the tissue. Phloem is the tissue. Okay, there's a comma there. Phloem is the tissue through which these manufactured food substances are translocated. Phloem is the tissue through which these manufactured food substances are what? Are translocated. Now, substances or materials commonly translocated are, so we have said that transportation of food is called translocation. Okay, so we don't use transportation for food, the movement of food from where it is produced to where it is stored or used. Okay, you rather use transportation for water in plants, but you use translocation for food. Now, substances that are regularly transported are, or commonly transported are, translocated are, okay, sugar, which include glucose or carbohydrates, oil, resins, proteins or amino acid, alkaloids and hormones. Those are the things that are translocated. Glucose, sugar, glucose or carbohydrates, oil, resins, proteins or amino acid, alkaloids and hormones. The functions of these translocated substances include protein or amino acid, which are used for building up of new tissues. Proteins or amino acid are used for what? Building up of new tissue. Sugar or glucose or carbohydrate is used for energy, for the production of energy. Oil provides energy. Oil too is concerned with what? Provision of energy. Alkaloids, resins and steroids are protective in functions. Alkaloids, resins and steroids, they are together called phytoconstituents or phytochemicals. Okay, and steroids are protective in functions and prevent herbivores from eating the plants, as they are all what? Waste products in plant. They prevent herbivores from eating the plants. Transpiration is defined as the removal of excess water from the plant into the atmosphere in form of water vapor. Okay, and plants are capable of losing water through, number one, the stomata, which we call stomatal transpiration. They can also lose water through the lenticel, which is called lenticular transpiration. They can also lose water through the cortical, okay, of the leaf surface, okay, which is called corticular transpiration. Now, transpiration is brought about by gaseous diffusion and transpiration. Okay, gaseous diffusion. Now, this continuous flow of excess water from the stomata, lenticel and cortical is called transpiration stream or transpiration pool. So, continuous flow of water from the stomata, cortical or lenticel is called transpiration stream or transpiration flow. And it travels through the silent vessel. Okay, the flow is maintained as follows. Okay, now we have the cell sap in their vacuoles become more concentrated as the mesophyll cells in contact with their lose water by evaporation. So through evaporation, water is lost from the surface of the leaf or stem or the leaf leaf also, okay, in terms of cuticle, the cuticle of the leaf, okay. So through osmosis, by diffusion, but through osmosis, okay, because I've told you in our previous slides that in our previous videos that when it has to do with the loss of water or the intake of water into the plant, it is by osmosis. Water passes into them from other cells. So the process is repeated throughout the cell surface, throughout the mesophyll surface, okay. Throughout the mesophyll surface, the process is what? The process is often repeated. The process is often repeated throughout the mesophyll surface in contact with a vein that takes in water from the xylem vessel. Water found in the xylem vessels tends to be in broken columns. Water found in the xylem vessels tends to be what? Tends to be in broken columns, and it extends from the leaves. It extends from the leaves to the roots. So as it moves from the leaves, it gets into the roots. These columns are not broken because the mutual attraction. Mutual attraction, we can talk of cohesion. That is force of cohesion. It is the force of attraction between substances of that are similar. We will consider adhesion. Force of adhesion, they are dissimilar. Okay. So mutual attraction of the molecules is very strong. Okay. It is so strong that the extent that as water, it is strong to the extent that as water passes out from the top of a xylem vessel, it pulls the rest of the water molecules up within it. It pulls the rest of the water molecules up with it. However, water tends to rise in the microscopic xylem vessel by capillarity. Water tends to rise in the microscopic xylem vessel by what? Capillarity. Capillarity is the process where water tends to move. Now we are going to consider the differences between transpiration and translocation. In transpiration is the loss of excess water from plants into the atmosphere in form of water vapor. But translocation is the process in which food substances are transported from where they are produced or manufactured to tissues where they are needed or possibly stored. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, now what are the substances that are transported in plants? We talk of oil or resin, which provides energy, protein or amino acid, which is used for building up tissues, sugar or carbohydrate or glucose, which provides energy also. Alcohol, resin, and steroids, they are protective functions. They are protective in what? In functions. Okay, let us take some exercise question. Okay, what is translocation? Translocation is the process by which manufactured food is transported into the plants and animals. Tubular or cylindrical vessels are necessary in plants and animals. Liquid medium is required for transportation in plants and animals. Of course, there must be a medium, okay, for transportation. Diffusion plays a major role in transportation in both plant and animal. Of course, diffusion plays a major role, okay? And the role of diffusion cannot be overemphasized. We have studied all this in previous videos in cell and its environment. We did study it in plasmolysis, hemolysis, and all those. We are now studying it in transportation in plants, in translocation anyway. Particles of food, nutrients, and hormones is transported in dissolved or what? Or fluid form. They have to be transported in that. Now let's consider the differences between transportation in plants and animals. Differences between transportation in plants and animals. In plants, cell sap is the medium of transportation. But in animals, blood is the medium of transportation. In plants, root pressure or transpiration generates force for pull. Root pressure or transpiration generates force for pull. But in animals, heart generates force for transport of nutrients. In fact, the heart is the pumping organ. It pumps the blood out. Okay. Okay, the transport medium in plant is not a tissue. The transport medium in animal is made up of cells of different types of tissues. Okay, water or mineral salts. Water or mineral salt is manufactured. Water or mineral salt is manufactured and food are transported. Water or mineral salt is manufactured and food are what? Transported in plants. But in animals, water, food substances and mineral nutrients are transported in the same vessel. Okay? Now, root pressure. This is the last part we shall be considering. We have studied the force that brings in water, the transpiration. We have studied transpiration stream or flow, okay, and the force that helps the water to come up. Now we want to study root pressure. Root pressure is the force by which the root draws in water and mineral salts from the soil. Please take note of that word, draws in. Sorry about that typological error. Draws in water. Root pressure. Sorry, please. Root pressure is the force which the roots draws in water and other salts. It draws in water and other salts. The force applied by the roots to draw in water and other mineral salts from the soil. Osmosis. Water is passed from those cell vessels, silent vessels, which have more water to those which have lost water in a steady transpiration stream, or pool. Okay, water from a steady column within the silent vessel upwards moves upward. Water moves upward in a steady flow. It moves upward in the plant. And as the water moves upward, nutrients are circulated. Okay, and also the water is distributed to any part of the body that needs it. Okay, transmission pool is the force generated in the leaf. So if you are asked, where is transpiration pool? Where is the force generated? It is in the leaf. Transpiration pool force is generated in the leaf. Okay, and what it uses for is that it draws the water in the silent vessel upward, because the extremely force of cohesion, which is attraction of which has to do with the attraction of water molecules at one end. You know, I've told you that the word cohesion has to do with the force of attraction between substance of similar molecules. Okay, but adhesion is those of dissimilar. So the column of water does not break as the force pulls the water up. I want to believe this video helps. Okay, if you have a question, you can drop in the comments. If you have a comment also, you can also leave it. Subscribe to the channel and share the videos. Thank you and God bless you.